pants.
So, we're doing our, top 10 bucket list of bands that we want to see live.
Yes, we are. Just bands that we've never seen live that we want to see really bad. These are bands that are still currently around. Like, we didn't put like Pantera on our list because they're not around anymore, like Led Zeppelin or something. Yeah. They're bands that are still around, can still tour, stuff like that. So, without further ado, Keith, what are your 10 bucket list bands?
Alright, my 10 bands, rattle them off quickly, is one, Metallica,
Is that your number one?
This is the first one I have listed.
In no order.
I don't have them in any particular order.
I don't think I will either.
So, I said Metallica, because, they're the only one of the big four that I have not seen yet. So, gotta get that done. And, yeah.
Gotta get that boom boom pow. Or whatever. These bitches
like
my dog chow. Sorry.
Alright. Alright, also I have Judas Priest. Because, I've seen Maiden and Sabbath now, so I want to see Priest because, they're getting old. Rob Halford's old. He has to use a cane on stage, so he's not going to last that much longer.
He's bald.
Alright.
Wow.
Turtle Halford.
Next one, Avenged Severum, because, love that band, and seen Winter Sun, and it's also, it's kind of lesser thing, it's where Yuri came from, so also I love the new album and a lot of their old stuff like Iron, love albums like that, so I just really want to see Avenged Severum. I'm not sure if they come around in the USA too much, do they?
They do.
Yeah, okay, I just don't pay attention. Alright,
yeah,
cool.
They do at least once per album that they put out.
Alright, that's cool.
And they're working on new ones, so maybe they'll be back.
Woohoo! Alright. Next one, I have Aerosmith. I've gone through quite a few rock shows, a lot more recently, and so Aerosmith is just like one of those bands. They're honestly, in my opinion, probably the greatest rock and roll band ever. So that's just it would just be a great thing. Again, it's another thing. They're old, so I don't know how well it would sound to 10, 15 years ago, or maybe even 20 years ago. But it's one of those things that you gotta get done. So. But then, alright, next, have the Rolling Stones. Again, it's another thing. It would cost me an arm and a leg to go see them, because it's like a couple $100 to get tickets. So, and again, it's like, they're ancient. Nobody understands why Keith Richards is still alive. All the drugs he's done. So, gotta see them at some point. Another metal band, Symphony X. Band I have not seen. And they're really cool, and I like this band, so I would love to see them sometime, just to get epic and technical and all kinds of other good shit. Misfits. I think they're still around. They don't have Glenn Danzig, but still seeing the Misfits would be pretty awesome. Hearing all the old classics that, Die, 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 My Darling, Last Caress, Green Hell, songs like that.
Pumpkinhead.
Pumpkinhead, forgot about that one. Then next, AC/DC. It's a classic rock band. Gotta see AC/DC. They've probably written, Back in Black's one of the, the coolest, best albums ever written. So, it's also the second, best-selling album ever. So, and also this band just, can do no wrong, really. Yeah, they have a sound and they stick to it, but that's not a problem. Next, I have Blind Guardian. I've really gotten a lot more into this band lately, and I would just love to see this band. I have a lot more interest in seeing a lot more, power metal-y bands anymore than other bands, so, Blind Guardian would be just a perfect match for that. And the last band I have, and I guess I'm not seeing this band technically, it's a sort of, would be, See Death on the Death to All tour. Yeah, they don't have Chuck anymore, but I have not been to the Death to All tour, and just seeing that band in some way, shape, or form would be pretty sweet. So, yeah, those are my top 10 bucket list bands.
Wow.
Yes.
Alright.
Who's next?
I can go. I just came up with my 10th band. But a couple of bands I would like to see. And then there are some other bands that are, I'd like to see them sometime in my lifetime. But there are others that the urgency is there, definitely. In no order, the first band I have is Rage Against the Machine. Because they're, for the most part, at least now, they're not making music and they don't do much. They play big festivals and stuff like that, but I mean, it would kind of take some of the fun out of seeing them like in a venue, like a small place, and that would be pretty wicked and everything, but I would still like to see them. Second band, Counterparts, because I still haven't seen them, strangely enough. I've known about them for some time, and I used to go to a lot of shows around here, and just, I don't know, strangely I've never seen them, and I'm starting to get very into them, and they're doing a tour now with a bunch of bands like Terror and Stray from the Stick to Your Guns, but it's not coming around here. Third, I have Russian Circles, just because I missed them before on the Between the Buried and Me tour, and who else was it? Coheed and Cambria? Yeah, I missed that, but Memorial's an awesome album. I'd like to see them live, definitely. Next, I'm not sure if I'll ever be able to see them, but just to put them just for the heck of it, Black Flag, you know, after the whole lawsuit stuff and, you know, money and all that, if they ever go out again, like, I think it would be cool if they would be on, like, Mayhem Festival, you know, have a punk band on that, it'd be pretty cool. I'd like to see them. Killswitch Engage, I still haven't seen them. It's kind of weird. You know, I think they're a popular band. I've seen, you know, I've been to Mayhem Fest. I've been to some, you know, big shows and stuff. I've seen Machine Head, some of the bigger metal bands, but I still haven't seen Killswitch Engage. It's kind of weird. I think it would be fun to see them. Even without Howard, I still think Adam D, just him being a weirdo, would be cool. Next, I have Title Fight. I was never into this band, really, from the start, but over the past year, I mean, I've gotten a little bit more into them. I think it would be interesting to go see them live, because any footage I've seen of a live show from them is, I mean, it would put a fair amount of metal shows to shame, looking at all the energy and stuff, and I think it would be a fun show to go to. Next, I have Fucked Up, just for the sake of being able to say that I saw Fucked Up. When I'm like 90, I doubt I'll ever live to be 90, and I doubt I'll ever have grandkids, but if I had grandkids when I'm 90, I could tell them I saw Fucked Up, I could brag about it. Next, I have a band I just found recently, Napoleon. By recently, I mean like a couple of days ago. I just think it would be awesome to see them, because I think they're cool. I'd like to see how they are live, because I just dig them. I dig them a lot. It's kind of weird. Bands I listen to right off the bat, usually I'm just kind of or I have to like ease my way into them. Rarely will I find a band that right away I'm into them. And so far I think they're pretty cool. Next I have Creed, just because Creed is legendary, and I mean, if Scott Stapp, you know, long hair, open white shirt, singing Arms Wide Open, all that stuff, he's on a mountain and everything. I don't know how they'll get a mountain into a venue or a big arena or something. I mean, you'd probably have to go to, like, the Himalayas to see them, because then they play on mountains. And last I have Lamb of God, just because I haven't seen them, and from what I've heard, their shows are just scary and sick, and I've heard good things about them live, and I would like to see them, because lately I've been getting a bit more into them than I've never really been into them, but I just think it would be very interesting to see them. I think they would be a very interesting band to see, and I just basically said that twice in a different way each time. But yeah, I think they're pretty cool.
Wow. Alright, so I had Septic Flesh is my number 10, but scratch that. As much as I want to see him, I completely forgot about Ensiferum. So I'm going to put that on there, because I just want to get epic, and I want to go into battle. No pun intended. Maybe I intended that pun.
No, you didn't.
I don't know.
You could see Armored Brood. There's some, like, battle band that sings about battles and stuff.
I'm going to look that
I think their album covers, like, 4 bitches riding on a horse, or, like, 4 different horses, not on one. Whatever, I'm stupid. I'm an idiot.
next I have Symphony X. I would love to see this band. This band is, you know, I got into their most recent album, Iconoclast, around the time where they came to my area with Iced Earth and Warbringer. And so I was really pissed that I missed that show, but I think I've heard a lot of great things about this band live, and I just really, really want to see them sometime. Next is the Deftones. I would love to see the Deftones. I've heard that they're absolutely amazing live, but the problem is that their tickets are always so expensive, and then they sell out so fast. So that's basically the reason why I haven't seen them. But gosh, I would love to just go there and feel those feels that the Deftones gives you, and you know, that would be great. Next I have AC/DC. AC/DC was the band that really got me into music, or it was the first band that I just fell in love with, and just listen to them all the time. So I kind of want to see them for that purpose, and also the purpose of saying I saw AC/DC. Their old is you know, a really old bag of dicks. Makes no sense. But they're a really old bag of dicks. But I'm sure that they would be really fun to see live. And yeah. Next, I have Nile. I want to see Nile so bad. I want to get my Egyptian death metal going on over here. Even though they're not from Egypt, they just have Egypt theme. I feel that I would love to see them live and have this wall of fucking brutal death metal just hitting me in the face the whole time. Yeah. Well,
it's Adorned Brood, not Armored Brood. I messed that up.
And they're doing a headlining tour where it's, you know, it's just them. They're playing like 16 or 17 songs, but it's coming around at the worst possible time, which really sucks. So I'll catch them sometime. Plus, I would kind of like to see them when there's actual like bands that are supporting them. Like it's just them. So yeah, but I really, really want to see Nile because I mean they're one of my favorite death metal bands. Next, I would love to see Blind Guardian. I would love to just get epic as fucking shit. And I looked up a set list of songs that they typically play for a headlining set, and it was literally every single song that I would want them to play. It was incredible, and I would just love to hear Hansi's vocals live. I would just love to just, I don't know, they make me feel like I'm in Middle Earth when I listen to them. It's just, they have these like folk influences, and it's fantastic, and I love Blind Guardian for this fucking passion. I would love to see them live. Next is Insomnia, and oh my gosh, I would just, you know, flip shit, and I would buy 4,000 tickets to see this band, but I would only use one. I would sell out the show. I'd buy all the tickets, but it would just be me there. Not really. That would be stupid. Why would I do that? Would you do that?
Because you're faggot.
Wow.
Positive feedback from both.
Insomnium just gives me those feels, and I love this band to death. I feel they're just, you know, there's some bands out there that you just listen to all the time, and you just seem to not be able to get enough of them. And Insomnium is one of those bands. I'm extremely sad that I missed them. I think it was a year or two ago when they came over with Epica. I wish I would have went to that. Next is Dream Theater. I would love to see Dream Theater. They're coming around very soon, but tickets are astronomically high, and I don't want to pay $50-something just to see them. I know it'll probably be amazing, but still, I can't really do that. I don't know, just something about me. But Dream Theater is, you know, probably one of the biggest bands that's really grown on me over the past year, and I mean, their entire discography is just phenomenal, and I would love to just see them live. I've heard so many good things, and I mean, just watching the pure talent that all these musicians have in the band would would be incredible to see. Number 2, I have Judas Priest, because Judas Priest is one of the most epic and just awesome metal bands out there. They're so influential, and Rob Halford can't really sing anymore like he used to, but it would just be incredible to hear those classic Judas Priest songs. And I'm not talking 70s Judas Priest. I'm talking the 80s Judas Priest, the only Judas Priest that matters. Just kidding, not really. But yeah.
Sorry, Reggie.
Sorry, Reggie.
Killer. It's
Yeah.
good.
Sad Wings of Destiny all the way.
All the songs that they play.
Rock and Roll
Sad
Jesus or whatever that album's called.
Just Rock and Roll.
Oh, Jesus was at the end.
Diamonds and Rust. That's actually a good song, but yeah.
But yeah, Judas Priest would be amazing to see. They're Judas Priest. I feel that every metal fan should just want to see Judas Priest just for the novelty. And number one, I have Rush. I want to see Rush so bad. Just to watch, like Geddy Lee or Alex Lifeson or whatever his name is, Lifeless. I don't know what his name is. It's not his name.
Lifeless.
Something like that. And Neil Peart would just be incredible live. Hearing them play for like 3 hours or whatever they do would just be incredible. Rush is just such a classic and legendary band.
Oh.
And I just would love to see them. They're the number 1 band, and I'm like, if I see them, I can die a happy man. This year, in the past recent years, I've been able to cross off a lot of really big bands that I've been like, I gotta see them before I die, or before they die. Doesn't matter. Like Iron Maiden or Black Sabbath. But Rush is up there now. They're my number 1 band that I want to see. Who are you freaking out? Who did you forget?
You made me forget, they kind of remind me, kind of in the same league of Rush, but Boston, if you had Brad as the singer in the band.
Brad Gerhardt?
He died. No, Delp.
Oh.
That's his last name, Delp.
I got you.
But,
yeah, that would be cool.
that would have been cool. Tom Schultz,
Yeah.
Delp. Delp. I meant Brad Delp. He died tragically.
Any other bands you guys just want to throw out? Say, I want to see them. They'd be cool. They didn't make your list.
I forgot a couple bands. I forgot Killswitch. I forgot Rush. What else did I forget? Fuck. There's another band that you had that I forgot.
I don't know.
Bad Religion would be kind
Dream
of
Theater.
neat to see.
That's what it was.
I have a list of a bunch of punk bands that are around for like 3 years that I used to listen to, but they're not around anymore. And the Germs, the Virus, bunch of shitheads like that. Circle Jerks would be cool to see. All that stuff.
I'd like to see that Death to All tour that Keith mentioned, and Aerosmith would be cool to see. I also want to see Motherfucker. I just had him in my head.
Motherfucker?
No, I forget. One of you guys can go on. I'll think of him.
Yeah, let's see.
Yeah.
It was Godsmack. I want to see Godsmack. Forgot about Godsmack.
I've never seen Godsmack.
I've never seen
saw
Godsmack.
it.
I feel like I've seen Godsmack with you, but I guess not.
No, I almost...
Soilwork! I want to see Soilwork because they're incredible.
No, I was going to see Godsmack with you, and then I couldn't go to that one, so...
Okay. The she. We didn't include bands that we were going to see soon, either. Otherwise, I would have had like Primal Fear on my list or something.
Then I would have also had Iced Earth on my list.
Yeah.
If they're Winter Sun on my list, I have to see them again.
Any last words?
Nope.
Famous Last Words, My Chemical Romance. That's a band, Famous Last Words.
Yeah, I'd like to see My Chemical Romance, but they're not a band anymore. That would have been really neat. They had some cool jams and stuff like that.
So
yeah, Simple Plan, I forgot them. They would be like my number 1. All the nostalgia there. Under Earth, they're not a band anymore.
A lot of bands aren't bands anymore.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, though, if they were still around, that we would all have Pantera at our number 1.
Yeah.
Well, if they were
At least
still around and they were still,
Good.
I guess maybe they would have been like Bullet for My Valentine if Dimebag lived. And they would be bad now, and they'd all have a bunch of cleans and stuff. I'm pretty sure, like, you know, at least one or two people will be
Just
kicked out
think
of the
now.
band.
You know, Phil Anselmo kind of sounds like shit. You know, the new Down recordings and his solo stuff. You know,
Well, Ivy sounds like a monkey's ass.
Him now with Pantera, like, could the music of Pantera still save him? This is a completely different video right now. But
Vinnie Paul is just a bitch either way.
I know you really want to see Hell Yeah.
Can I get a hell yeah?
My vein.
But